Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be talking about growing up biracial, and I hope you guys stay tuned because it's about to be kind of like a story time mixed with I guess it's a story time and a because I'm still living this life of being biracial. So yeah, if you want to hear about family history, kids, stuff like that, just keep watching. I be getting brain farts, and then it's word diarrhea, and I need a fill, so don't look at my hands. So for starters, what am I besides human? Unfortunately, I don't want to be human. I want to be like alien, or I want to be an animal. A lion, definitely a lion, or a lion hybrid. I want to be a hybrid vampire and werewolf. I just don't want to be human. But first off, I'm human. Second off, what am I mixed with? I am half Puerto Rican and half African American. My father's black, my mother's Puerto Rican. So they had intercourse and made me. How my mother and father met, I believe they met at work. I believe they were co-workers, already unprofessional. My mom was very unprofessional. Let me stop. They met at work. And yeah, I guess my dad asked her out on a date. I don't know if they worked at the same department or whatever, but yeah, they met at work. My mother had me at 36, and my dad was 30, 31, around there. Then they got married, had me. I think they had me, then they got married. Not sure which one came first, but they were married and whatnot. And then I was conceived. So I didn't identify with, or I didn't know what racism was. I was one of those kids that just loved everyone. I was a very loving kid. I don't know what happened to me. I would hug everybody and this and that. The first time I noticed that I was anything was with my friends. I lived in an area where there was predominantly white people, and where they were black people, they didn't like me, I guess, because I was never black enough to hang out with the black crowd, and I was never Puerto Rican enough to hang out with the Puerto Rican crowd. So yeah, the first time I witnessed anything like that was when a lot of my predominantly white friends would say that they didn't like the color brown, that it looked dirty and it was disgusting. And I was like, yeah, I don't like the color brown either, thinking about the crayon, because that's what we were doing. We were coloring, and they were all like, but you are brown. And that's where I was just like, what? It didn't bother me. It just made me aware that I was different. But I always felt different in different ways besides skin color. I didn't wear urban clothing or hip hop stuff. I wasn't into rap and all that other stuff. But then at the same time, I wasn't into reggaeton and all the Spanish stuff like that. And I didn't have a strong accent. I didn't have the wet curly hair. So I wasn't vibing with either one. I actually would wear black on black stuff. I was into rock music. I was into my own lane because that's just what I liked. I didn't feel like I had to, because I was this or that, be any of those things. I just wanted to be me. So I can definitely say, ever since I was little, I just wanted to be me. The way I pronounced my words or the way I talked, I was always getting called white girl, actually. Even though I'm not white, I was always getting called white girl. So it wasn't necessarily like that, like as far as skin color. But when I start to feel different and realize what I am, which is biracial and mixed, it was mostly family, believe it or not. You would think it's the outside world. It was actually family. I think it's very important to recognize when you are biracial, you have usually one family that's this, another family that's that. And when the two of them split up, my mom and dad divorced and everything like that, so there's already that little bit of dislike for my dad's family, a little bit of dislike for my mother's family. So how do I put this? So at like family functions, even though I feel like on the outside I look more African American, more black, but I was raised Puerto Rican. My mother is very Puerto Rican. My abuela is very much Puerto Rican, Spanish-speaking household. Though I speak English very well, I am bilingual. So, and my mom is from New York. So, oh, I also didn't mention that. Jesus Christ. My mother and father met in New York, had me, then moved to Virginia. So, yeah, my mom was born in Puerto Rico, and my father was born... Where the heck was my dad born? He was born in New York, but I can't remember where. Brooklyn, Bronx. I don't know. He was born in New York, though. Back to what I was saying about family. No stab against family, but Puerto Rican and black people they're very proud of their race. There's black people who have their own vibe and Puerto Rican that have their own vibe. They are ultimately, in my opinion, all very similar, but traditionally, Puerto Ricans are one way and black people are another way. They both have very strong traditions. I can't stand neither one of them, and I'm both of them. I can't stand the traditional mindset of either. So I'm more of the modern day, do whatever I want kind of thing because I'm grown. So, but I still respect both sides. That being said, my mom's very modernized as well. She's not very super traditional, but she also does have her quirks and things that she does. So as far as food, I was very much eating Puerto Rican food, traditional stuff. But my mom's, again, like I said, modernized. But as far as like my family, they are very Puerto Rican. Very Puerto Rican. So it wasn't, my mom never made me feel different, but definitely older family relatives will point out things, not being racist, but they are very proud of their culture, that sometimes they forget that I'm not all Puerto Rican as well, if that makes sense. So that's where I started to notice my hair is not like yours. My features are not like yours. My skin color is not like yours. And it's really hard on a kid because you're trying to learn how to accept yourself because you're growing. And when other people point out how proud they are of their features and their features don't match your features, it gets to you a little bit. Especially since I'm both. So some of the traditions or things that black people would do, I would do. And it was so foreign to my Puerto Rican family that they would be like, oh, you're acting a little feisty or whatever, and it would piss me off. I'm not going to disclose who and how or whatever, but there's things like that it was pretty tough. So, most people have the stories of, oh, this is when I first had racism or whatever. It's usually friends, peers, or bullies at school. Mine was more so in family. Even though my family's not racist, they're very stereotypical, stereotype. I'm not sure how you would put it, but they make comments that they forget that I'm black every time. Or when I'll go to my black family and they are like, what's wrong with you? You can't do this, you can't do that. Or I would get jealousy issues from people on my black side because of how I looked. Then there's that whole light skin versus dark skin stuff that's just ridiculous. So it was a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. I'm still dealing with things to this day. So now I want to move more so into what my kids are. So their father's completely black, and I am black and Puerto Rican. So what are they, a quarter Puerto Rican? And realistically, they are just going to be black. Like, our household, for lack of a better word, isn't Puerto Rican or anything. Our household is whatever you want to do in life, you can do. Whatever traditions you want to start, you could do. However you want to dress, you could dress, as long as it's appropriate. So that's why I take pride in our family Mitch and I created. We're not like our family. Mitch didn't really like his traditional family or how people act just because of how you are. He was the black sheep. So it's like we were both black sheeps in our family. So now that the black sheeps met, our kids get to be whatever they want to be without judgment, criticism. I could definitely pull a positive from a lot of the negative that I received. But I'm very thankful that I had a mom that was like my protector in terms of when family would get out of line. My grandmother on my father's side was like my best friend. She passed, but she never made me feel any different, or wouldn't let anyone make me feel different. She never saw anything but her grandbaby. And my mom never saw anything but my beautiful Black and Puerto Rican daughter. So it's really cool that, you know, my kids have a grandmother who look at them like they are just beautiful girls, not because of their hair, not because of this, not because of that, but yeah. So, have my children dealt with racism yet, or being aware of skin color yet? My kids are still to this day haven't came to me, at least I don't know of anything crazy. There was this little girl who would play in their hair, and she's like, "Can I touch your hair?" And the girls were like, "Yeah." And they said to her that, or no, the little girl said to the girls, "I've never touched a black girl's hair before." And the girls are like, "I'm not black." They're thinking like color pencil black. And they're like, "Well, I've never touched your kind of people's hair before." And I thought that was crazy because we live in 2019. Like that was just mind blowing to me. But you never know. So, I explained to the girls, you guys are beautiful, and I reassured them, and they looked at me and they're like, "Mommy, I know." They didn't even take it offensively like I did. I didn't take it offensively to the little girl because she doesn't know any better, but I thought of, well, if she doesn't know what a black girl's hair feels like or what it looks like, what type of parents does she have? But the girls were like, "I know I have long hair, and I know I'm beautiful, and I know, my hair is this way, and I have different texture hair," but they embrace who they are, and it just reassures me and Mitch that we're doing a good job in making them happy with being them without pointing out. I feel like it's important to make your child happy and love themselves, but at the same time, not telling them that they're any better than anybody because they're black. I don't want to parade my kids like, "You're a black girl, you a queen, you better than." I don't want them to think that they're better than anyone else, but at the same time, I don't want them to think that they're less than as well. So it's nice to know we're doing a good job in keeping a happy medium. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure there'll come a time when they're going to encounter negative comments, and they're not always going to tell me about it. Half of the comments that I received, I didn't tell my mom until now. Actually, yesterday, because we had to talk about this sort of thing. She knew things were different, or that I went through things, but I didn't openly tell her. You don't know how to tell your Puerto Rican beautiful mom that I have things that I don't think you can relate with because you're not mixed like me. So, and it's kind of hard because I always felt like I didn't fit in, and that's a very hard place to be. So I kind of hung out with the outcast, and I love that about me. It's funny that the things that I hated about me as a child and a teenager, I love that about me now. Like, if I can go back and see myself, or I would choose that for my kids. I want them to be in the outcast group because that's where the character is. I was so stuck back then on, oh my gosh, I'm an outcast and I'm with the kids who nobody cares about and this and that and the other. But we were all creative and doing our own thing. We were just leaders that nobody would accept. Meanwhile, everyone else had their own little cliques, and those people were so unhappy because they were trying to be, they all look like each other. We had the jocks who don't even talk to each other anymore in life. And it's just, the Valley Girls, the real hip hop people, there's just different groups, and everybody looked the same. Meanwhile, the group of outcasts, we loved each other despite everybody being so different and black sheeps. So I really hope to pass that along to my kids. Of course, they're going to choose whatever life they want to choose, but it's always nice that I can understand my kids on a different level than I feel like most parents can. It's very important to be open-minded. Now I'm making it a parental lesson. Anyways, my goal is to make sure that my kids know how to deal with negative things, even if they're not going to tell me. So I want them to be so comfortable with themselves that even the things they don't tell me, it won't hold them back, or scar them, they will be prepared. So I know life is unpredictable, but prepare your kids for the worst without traumatizing them. And I just think you have to find a way of preparing them around the time that you see differences. Try and pay attention to your kids. Try and welcome them with open arms. That's the best thing I could say, is welcome kids with open arms to talk to you about anything and everything. And because this world's crazy, guys. This world is crazy. That's me growing up biracial. Biracial, is that what it's called? Biracial, multiracial, mixed, whatever. I am proud to be it now. I still have, to this day, and I'm grown, I'm 27 years old, and I still have very much, a lot of things bug me. And I don't think it ever will go away. Those kind of things are very much deep-rooted. But I will say that I no longer think I'm flawed. I more so think that I'm enhanced. So all the things that I thought were wrong with me are what's right with me. And that feeling like I'm different, I'm glad that I'm different. But it still messes with me from time to time. And sometimes I could feel a little lost. Learning to love yourself is, I don't care how old you are, there's still more ways to love yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That became really dramatic there at the end. But I just thought it would be a cool video. I've been seeing a lot of videos growing up Latina, growing up multiracial, growing up biracial, all this other stuff. So I just wanted to make my story, say my story, say my piece, tell y'all about me and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys like this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!